Okay, thank you. Just first would like to express our appreciation to the entire Sugar Bowl committee, everybody we've dealt with this week. It's been a fabulous week. Everybody from the hotel to practice site over at the Superdome, our transportation, just everybody. It's been a special week in a great town, and feel like our players have really handled it well. Everybody's been attentive and on time at meetings, practice, those kind of things. So I feel like we've had a great week of preparation, and excited to play an excellent Auburn football team, a team that's now healthy. As everyone knows, they had some guys banged up towards the end of the season that are now expected back. So Coach Malzahn and his staff and team do an excellent job. Very good football team. So just excited really for tomorrow night to have an opportunity to play after such a break. And I know our players are excited about it and looking forward to the challenge of it all.
James Hale, Sports Talk 1400, The Ref. Bob, you brought it up a little bit. You talked about they're now healthy, that's on the offensive ball especially. Can you talk about the challenge of trying to stop a running game? I think it's ranked 5th in the country.
Yeah, it's a challenge. They got a lot of motion, they got a lot of distractions to try and get you out of your space or get your eyes in the wrong place. And you know, with big, strong, physical back also that's back and healthy, that's another challenge just with his strength and size. You know, so it'll take a lot of discipline defensively to be where we need to be, and then we're going to need to tackle well and be physical.
Barry Tramel from the Oklahoman. Bob, a couple of weeks ago at your press conference, you mentioned that you worried about the damage to the brand with the release of the video. In the couple of weeks since then, what's your impression on how you guys have handled that and what has been the fallout from it?
I can't say that I've been able to keep up with entirely what all that has happened. I know in the end, I gave our reasoning and our intention to help build a young man and give him a second chance and regard and that's what we did and 2.5 years ago, and feel like this young 18-year-old deserved that opportunity and has made the most of it really overall, and don't believe all his opportunities need to be finished in a reactionary moment, split second reaction to something. And he's been given another opportunity and has grown from it, and it's been really been a positive influence around our team.
Myron Patton Fox in Oklahoma City. Obviously, you were 1-2 on the year. You won 9 in a row, made this nice run to get to a major bowl. How important, especially considering last year you lost your last game, to kind of wrap this up with a win tomorrow?
Well, every year it's important to win your last game. It's always, makes for a better, out of season, and so that's always the goal, to win this last game.
Dean Blevins, News 9 Sports. Coach, can you talk about the fact that in the Big 12 you play a certain style of defense that you see week after week, and so you are equipped and recruited to play against that, and you get in games like this against a power conference, how that's a challenge for you, and if you consider changing schemes?
You can only change so much, but every team you play is a little bit different in different ways. This team and the way they try and run the football with the quarterback, as well as all the different motions and and the number of running backs they get in the backfield at one time. You're going to see 3 of them back there, or motioning a receiver back there a lot. So they just have different methods of doing it. In the end, you practice it, and it still gets down to blocking, tackling, and executing. Regardless of the style that you play.
Gary Nemick of the Tulsa World. Bob, because of the vibe created by the release of the video concerning Joe, does a win tomorrow night help change that? Does it make that more important to sort of feel good again, surrounding the vibe of the program?
Well, I don't, you know, that's not going to change that. So we've won a lot of football games already, and that hasn't changed that. So in the end, it is what it is. We'll continue to move on from it. We do have a very positive vibe around our building, in our hotel, at our practice. And, you know, so winning, you know, can help continue that. But, you know, some of it won't change.
Tom and Eno, WVTM 13 in Birmingham. Gus Malzahn has gotten a lot of credit for what he's done on the offensive side of the ball in terms of scheme and things like that. Just want to get your take on him as a coach and what he can do to kind of make things difficult for an opposing coach on the offensive side.
Yeah, just very, again, creative with all of the different formations, personnel groupings, motions. You know, they give you a lot to read and to figure out, you know, as they try and create their seams and their gaps, you know, to run the football. So you've just got to be very disciplined to be able to handle it all.
Right here.
Could you comment on the health of under Mark Andrews? He kind of got off to a fast start of the season, then as Dede kind of emerged, seems like he kind of went to the background. I know he's kind of banged up. What do you expect out of him tomorrow night?
Yeah, Mark's fine, has practiced, and is ready, hopefully, to have a good game. But he's in good shape, and hopefully he can have an impact on the game.
Bob, your offensive line, James Hill, Sports Talk 1400 The Ref, your offensive line really came on during the year, even when you lost a starter and Ben stepped up there. They'll face a line in this game that a lot of people regard as one of the top 10 defensive lines in college football. Could you talk about that matchup and how your line has looked in practice and things working out?
Yeah, definitely. Our line has done an excellent job through the year of really just gelling as we went through the season, got better and better. We're going to face, as you said, a great defensive line. The two guys that really stick out are, Lawson and Adams, great players up there. And but all the guys that rotate in there with them really do an excellent job. So very physical, active up front. So it'll be a challenge.
Bob, want to get your take on Auburn's quarterback, Sean White. You already mentioned he's getting healed up. What have you seen from him, and what does he bring to the table?
Really good quarterback, good decisions, got a good arm, throwing the football, great competitor. Very good football player for them, and has the ability to run, some as well. Not as much as some of the other guys, but still he can hurt you when he pulls the ball down, or the opportunities he gets, he does a good job with them.
Bob, have you had any discussions with Samaje and Joe about the NFL? And if not, how soon do you think that will take place?
We've just had some preliminary discussions, but that's something the following week after the game that'll be talked about more.
Over here.
Bob, you guys have talked all week about the Auburn running game and the misdirection and those kinds of things and the problems that presents. But the one thing you've been most susceptible to this year, the deep ball, is something they haven't done a lot of. Is it a relief or a fun or an exciting challenge to play somebody that's not going to try to go over the top every other play on you like some teams have?
We expect to get it, so they still, to go along with all the misdirection and all the running game, they're still going to leak people out and try and get behind you. So it'll, that's always a challenge as well, not only receivers, but running backs as well. So I'd say it's something that, not a relief, but something that you're always prepared for and you're always working against at practice, trying to improve at it.
Further questions for Coach Stoops? There we go. How's your...
I'm not going to let you go early, Bob.
Yeah, I guess.
This is your third trip to the Sugar Bowl, your second in the last 3 years, so a lot of your coaches and some of your players have been here. You had a run like this with the Fiesta Bowl, 06 through 10, went to 3. Is there any advantage in coming back to the same place multiple times within a short amount of span? Just comfort level, knowing what you get, those kinds of things. Sooners used to have it with the Orange Bowl in the old days. Is that become any kind of advantage or help?
Well, I don't know how much of one. I think you do have a level of comfort and familiarity with everything that's coming to you, that, you know, your practice, your hotels, the way it's going to all flow and operate, your meeting rooms. So you have a great comfort in knowing, you know, it's going to be done well, as everybody here does it so well. But does that end up transferring to the field? I don't think it has a lot to do with it, really. When it gets down to it, your execution on the field, you know, still gets down to that reaction, that moment of being out there and being able to make plays when you get the opportunities, and who will make more plays than the other, and who will be able to come up with those plays when you need them. So I don't know that, you know, just the familiarity and all has that much to do when it gets right down to it.
Bob, the Big 12 gets hammered quite a bit from a reputation standpoint. If you guys win, it goes 4-2, I guess. How do you think the league has fared in the bowl season?
It seems like they've done pretty well. I can't say that I'm up to speed with everybody, to be quite honest with you. That you guys get it. I'm in meetings, I'm in practice. You guys pay attention to all that. I'm not. That's not my job, you know. So I can't say that I'm up to speed on how everybody else is doing. But you know, a few of the ones I've paid attention to seems like they played pretty well. But we'll see.
You know, Bob, early in the year there seemed to be a thought that your leadership wasn't there yet, you know, but talking to a lot of these guys, it seems like your seniors have really stepped up. They all brag them up. They all talk about them. Now, Baker's always been that guy, but it seemed like a lot of the other guys, Ahmad and Jordan Evans and things, it seems like they really love being a senior here at this game. And has that been something that's been present at practice and around the program over the last few weeks?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say it definitely improved somewhere there in the middle part of the year, where they took a little more ownership of it, and you know, and stepped it up more as the season went on.